the philosophy here is not just what did Descartes say, but how can you apply the wisdom of a philosophy to your day-to-day life?
There's nothing theoretical about what we talk about. We discuss going through our lives and meeting obstacles and problems at work or in our relationships. And we have principles that we discuss that we can test out in our lives.
I feel like I'm learning a set of skills or a way of experiencing that helps me cultivate wisdom, or more wisdom, happiness.
So I think what makes it practical is the tools that they provide. Every class we walk away with some questions that we can ask ourselves or an idea. We all come and kind of talk about how it went in a debrief the next class. So it allows you to really think about how to use the tools that philosophy can provide in these like really essential questions that we then try out throughout the week.
A concept that I learned could be, for example, what I give my attention to grows. And I started focusing my attention on solutions instead of problems. I started focusing my attention on the beauty that surrounded me. And suddenly I was surrounded by solutions, and I was surrounded by beautiful things.
And like one principle the tutors often say is, don't take their word for it, but try it out in your own life. Like one of the early practices was not to leave your home until you were in a good mood in the morning. So if you woke up grumpy, you had to pause before you went out the door and get yourself in a good mood. And so that was intensely practical.
Well, my favorite is what would a wise woman or man do? And so it's basically kind of like pausing in a way, kind of like when you're in a situation where you're trying to make a decision, whether it's a big decision or a small decision, you just kind of take a break and ask yourself, what would a wise woman do?
You pause for a second and you don't have that instinctive reaction, but you have that pause where you can kind of change up what you normally would do. That's a practical aspect.
And that's really helped me because I feel like it's made me more mindful. And so it's also given me more focus in my life, which makes me feel like I have more control over my choices.
This is practical for me in my everyday life simply by knowing that if I put my feet firmly on the ground and notice that they're there and feel them and actually take a breath and pause for a second, whatever stuff I have running around in my head stops, and it brings me to present, where my thoughts become clearer and I see things through a proactive eye rather than a reactive eye, and I take a step back.
Not a day goes by, ever since I began this course, where at least, I'm not kidding you, at least 5 times, one of the tools that I've learned comes into play.
It's practical because it actually exists in my everyday life. So I can never think of it as not being part of my existence. And so it even makes my own existence much easier and more fulfilling.